Petri dish. The Petri dish. The Petri dish.
This is
The Petri dish. The Petri dish. The Petri dish. This is the Petri dish. There's something growing in here, and it's fear and loathing in Las Vegas. Just kidding, we're in Reno, and I only loathe myself. How are you guys doing? It's a good day. That wasn't the best way to open it.
That one went well. That was a good one.
That just slipped right out of the mouth. Jesse's here.
Hi.
We got 2/3 of Sad Giants. It's close enough. Quentin was in Vegas, and he's still in Tonopah. And I told him, we're just going to do the podcast without you.
And technically not a giant, so therefore...
True.
Doesn't belong anyways.
Yeah, you know what? He's a regular-sized person.
I think we're accepting applications for bass players that are over 6'2".
I met a guy who's a guitarist who was like 6'2" and Asian, so...
Why isn't he playing in our band?
I don't know. You know, I should have asked him. That would have been probably pretty cool. I've been writing a lot more lead parts for the demos that I've been working on. Just because, man, I just want to have a cool fucking band.
I thought we were pretty cool.
Oh, I mean, this last show we did our EP release show, and we were fucking dope as fuck.
That's true.
We even had
people seem to like our cover song.
Oh yeah, we had the people dancing. I need to find another song that I know will get people fucking jazzed.
Yeah,
I got some
probably
ideas.
Not that Rancid cover we did.
Nah, I mean, like, people
that was
like
pretty
that.
Good.
It's one of those things where it's just kind of expected, you know.
Yeah.
So like that's why I like to do things that are unexpected, like wear flamingo shirts and shit.
Hence our last show where you wore fireworks. What was on your shirt?
I still have no idea. I call it my Zapdos shirt because if you aren't looking, it looks like that fucking Thunderbird from Pokemon.
Okay.
But I think it's supposed to be palm trees, but they're like differently colored and offset, so it kind of looks like explosions.
I thought they were fireworks.
Yeah.
Like I could see you wearing that to a 4th of July barbecue.
Yeah, I've been getting into that fucking short sleeve print game,
dude.
You know?
I have set a goal for myself. Very important, I think, that people do, you know, for like personal growth and development. I've set a goal for myself to wear shorts and flip-flops to work every day this summer.
Fuck yeah.
Started in April, and I'm going to try and go till like October, when the end of October usually when it switches over, so...
I've been seeing like how casual I can get, because we're supposed to be Monday through Thursday. We're supposed to be, you know, like, because we're a government contractor. Right. So like we're supposed to be, you know, business casual, like button-ups, slacks, non-open-toed shoes all the time. And then Fridays you can get casual. People wear shorts and shit.
Hell yeah.
But I've been like, just like wearing black jeans on days that are on Friday, or just like...
That's getting a little iffy, man.
I wore my Ugg slippers in, and I was like, they're closed-toed. You know, for those real bad days. God, today's been a bad mental health day.
Yeah.
Which is just fucking rough. But, you know, that's why I'm glad I have only creative outlets where I can just express myself fully. Because it's fucking... Man... My brain's a fucking dickhole. We've had nothing but a good weekend all around. Everything. The show was fucking dope. I had a dope Cinco de Mayo. Saturday I got to hang out with my family a little bit. So like shit was dank as fuck. And still I wake up Monday and my brain's like, hey, what if nothing you ever do works out? I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do this all day.
Isn't that fucked up how the mind does that? Like,
yeah.
It will literally like play back scenarios too, where you thought you were like I'll do this a lot too, where I'll drink in like a social setting, and then wake up the next morning like it's almost like a hangover, but not hangover because I don't get like I don't like blackout or anything.
Yeah, but it's like an existential one.
Yeah, and I'm just like, holy fuck, did I say something that like someone doesn't like, or did I like make a fool of myself?
Am I not remembering the inflection of which I said dickish things that I thought
like,
were fun? Yeah.
And normally, like, in any other, like, normal settings, I don't give a fuck. But then when I drink, it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, there's just that little bit of haze on all the memories. I think that's what it was, is I expended so much endorphins with happiness. And then I just drank a little bit yesterday for Cinco de Mayo, so I woke up today, like... like coming off depressants of alcohol with all of my endorphins and happiness, like serotonin just blown from fucking having too much good times.
Yeah, your body and your mind and everything's coming leveling itself back out.
Yeah, but luckily, you know, we had some In-N-Out.
Very delicious.
It solved, I'm going to say 50% of my problems for the day.
You had
Got a
your
chocolate
milkshake.
shake. Got my
That's
chocolate
good.
shake. I'm doing good.
I
Guys,
am sweetsless right now.
you
so
know, you're going to get that blizzard later, though.
I'm going to get a blizzard. I fucking feel good. I was planning on, and I think we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I ran a half marathon yesterday.
Damn.
And it was my first one ever. And afterwards, I was like, yeah, I'm going to like do all this like celebratory shit. I'm going to go get like pizza and wings and beer. And then I'm going to get like blizzards. Man, the only fucking thing I did was I just went home and I laid on my couch and went to sleep.
Hell yeah.
I didn't even eat anything. I was just like so fucking tired, and my legs hurt so bad. I was just like, I'm fucking done. So I gotta make up for yesterday.
There
Gotta
you
get
go.
a celebratory sweet
Yeah,
today.
you do.
So that's my plans for
Treat
after this.
yourself.
Treat, literally treating with treats. I like that.
That's the best way to do it, man. I've been eating real good for the past fucking month, basically.
Yeah, speaking of that, how's your competition with Mr. Jostin going?
I'm pretty sure I'm winning.
Okay.
But I mean, Nick's going real good, and as soon as he gets on a roll, I mean, he's just going to shed the pounds because he's smaller than me.
Okay.
In stature, but like I've been hitting it hard, and I'm hanging tight in the low 340s.
You said you've been feeling good too, right?
Yeah, and I've been feeling good going to the gym. You know, jogged myself a half mile. Which I haven't done any jogging since I went jogging with you last year and ended up in the fucking boot.
That's right. You had the space boot on because
so
you
I was
fractured
like,
your heel or something.
It's just my tendons were just like, we're not playing this game.
Yeah.
And so it was just like my bones weren't getting pulled correctly. So I just haven't been jogging since then because I know my bones hate me.
Gotcha.
But now, you know, I'm, you know, just a slightly lighter, trying to get mobile. And treadmill is probably a little easier than concrete for now.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
So we'll see. You know, if I can get up to a mile on a treadmill, maybe I'll get back out there. But for now, man, exercise. I've been cutting back on the exercise. I was going to the gym 4 times a week.
Okay.
But I was getting to the point where I was like lifting so much that I'd get home and I couldn't sleep because like my arms hurt too much.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, my bones fucking hurt.
Rest
And I
is
was-
good.
I was like, I don't need that. Like, I'll just maintain like the muscle mass I have and just try to do more cardio and flexibility stuff because my back's all fucked.
How's that for you? I know you kind of you
Yeah.
went off your painkillers, right?
Yeah, I'm off the painkillers now. It's been a little rough, especially if I, you know, just even like sit on the couch for more than 2 hours or something, you know, like if I just wanted to hang out and have a fucking vegetable day, I can't. I got to be up and doing chores or something or else my back will seize up and I'll even stand weird. Like it'll be like my entire right side of my back will just kink up and I'll just be stuck in like a scoliosis position. It'll feel like my right leg is like 3 inches shorter than my left leg.
Jesus.
I'll just fucking stand weird. So like it's been a blessing and a curse having to be mobile all the time. So I'm always out like building the chicken coop, tending to shit in the yard, or
Getting shit done.
recording demos and shit. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I have making bread. I got fucking bread going again.
I see you got your mead stash kind of going over
Got
here.
the cider, got the wine. I got kombucha brewing right now.
Yeah, you got it all.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to stay
Lot
fucking
of
busy.
bottles.
Trying to stay mentally and physically busy.
A lot of weird liquid.
Which is weird because I don't drink that much alcohol anymore. I just like making it. Like I'm making all the things I don't partake in anymore. Alcohol and bread
and lots of carbs.
Fucking. That's why I'm waiting for these fucking chickens to get egg laying so I can at least enjoy the fruits of my fucking labor for once.
Then you can at least increase your protein intake.
Yeah, because I mean, if I eat 4 eggs in the morning from my fresh hatchery, I'll feel nice. If I eat a whole loaf of sourdough bread, I'm gonna feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But that bread's good though. I got another loaf ready to be baked because I made a batch yesterday, and then I put half of it away and baked one, and so I still got the one like cold fermenting in the fridge.
Sweet, dude. And it turns out good? Like really good bread?
It's real good.
Okay.
Let's
Interesting.
pop one in the oven right now, and then we can have it after the podcast.
I was going to say that probably takes a while to cook.
It takes a good 45 minutes
Okay.
because it's a very wet dough.
Sure.
But yeah, just trying to stay busy. Just trying to fucking
Yeah.
keep on my ones and twos and create shit and be cool and be nice to people. I did feel a little bit bad. So after our show, I was hanging out with my lady friend, and we were just sitting in the corner, kind of laughing at drunk people that were out on the dance floor dancing to
yeah.
karaoke, as you
dude.
do. But of course, I can't do anything without being highly visible, especially after people just watched me be on stage.
And the shirt.
Yeah, and so this guy had watched us already, and he was out dancing. He's being a little weird. Like he was obviously like kind of drunk, and so he was like making eye contact aggressively and just like dancing around.
That makes me feel very awkward.
And
when
so
people
I'm
do
like,
that.
I know he's drunk, But we were just laughing because he looked a little bit like Mark Wahlberg, and he was just being he was just enjoying himself too much, and we're like, that's not what we can do. And then I felt bad because then he saw us laughing and then just like fucking left.
Oh,
and I was like, oh shit, I'm that guy. And he actually pulled me aside, like outside, to talk to me. And he was just like, your behavior is derisive, and you make me feel like I can't be myself. And I was like,
really?
I was like, you know what? I'm like, you're right. I was like, I was just like, your feelings are valid. I apologize. I don't ever like making people feel like they can't fully express themselves. And then we just hugged it out and went back inside and had some drinks.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it was just like,
that's cool. He didn't try and fight you.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, no one's going to try and fight you.
exactly. So I'm like, I'm glad he at least came to me, and I just didn't have to feel like the dick that laughed a guy off the dance floor.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he was drunk and it was hilarious.
Okay.
But also at the same time, like I don't want to make people feel bad, especially about whatever their self-expression may be.
Right, because,
So
as musicians and artists, like, it sucks when that happens to you.
Yeah. So I just,
I'm surprised at his eloquent speech.
Exactly. I had to look up derisive afterwards to make sure I actually knew what he was talking about. And I was like, yeah, no, he called me out very accurately.
Wow.
So,
that's cool.
Nothing but emotions this weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
That's people calling me on my shit, trying to be a better person, so.
But I'm glad it ended well.
Yeah. Well, I
could have gone really bad.
I don't usually have bad interactions, mostly just because I don't like contention, So I try to solve it in whatever way I can, and if people don't like the outcome, well, I can't fix it beyond that usually, but I can send them my regards and my sympathies, however much I can. But I'm a fixer, I guess.
Sure.
I don't like contention in my life at any point, which is why my brain is probably always ready to be a dick, because it's just like, well, if you're not going to be mean to other people, I'm going to be mean to you. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's it then. Fine, I see how it fucking is.
I don't know. The show was like, after the show was, even like before and during the show was just weird because like I wasn't drinking because I was, running on Sunday and I didn't want to drink at all.
You didn't want to feel like weighed down by anything.
And I don't know, man. Like when I don't drink and then I go to bars and we play shows and
you're just like,
I just don't want to talk to people.
Same.
But I feel like it's like I wanted to talk to the guys in the other band and be like, oh man, like great set, just like shoot the shit like we normally do. But like, I don't know, man, when I'm sober and maybe I just get more self-conscious when I'm sober, or maybe I'm just not used to being completely sober in that type of setting. I'm not sure. I don't know. But it was very strange. And then even like one of, I think it was Quentin's friends, was there with a girl or something, and she's like, oh, hey, nice shirt. Like, where, was like trying to talk to me about it.
Yeah,
she's like, oh, yeah, we're nice shirt. And I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. She's like, where'd you get it? My friend's really tall, wants to, like,
wants to know these things.
Would be cool
Want
about
to
it.
interact.
I don't know exactly what she said, but I was like, oh, I got it from Target, actually. And she's like, oh, okay, Target. Cool. I was like, yeah, Target.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, weird. Like, I don't know. It's just hard for me to talk in that type of, like in a bar setting when you're not drunk, or at least like buzzed maybe.
Yeah, it's just like without any subtext or pretext interaction with people, like just standing at a table and talking to somebody for no other reason than it's human interaction. That's always weird to me too. Like I can't just stand around at parties and interact. I feel weird unless I'm like drunk or something, or we have some sort of game happening.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't think I started drinking right before we went on stage because I was just fucking, my heart was just pumping. I was just fucking, I was nervous as shit.
Yeah.
Just trying to channel that energy.
That's
and, like,
good.
I didn't talk to fucking anybody. Like, I was just trying to make sure that band was setting up and was going good. And then the rest of the time, I was just, like, standing there just kind of staring, waiting, because I was like, I can't fucking do shit right now.
Right.
It was just crazy. And so, but luckily it went well. After the show, I hung out with the Rozu. I hung out with Rozu afterwards. We all just did karaoke. They did a bunch of fucking emo songs, and it was great.
That was fun. I stuck around for a little bit.
Yeah, because you watched them do Ohio is for Lovers,
right? Oh,
right?
man, I got in on that. That was the one song I sang with. And Morgan, my girlfriend, she was like, are you going to, when they started doing karaoke, she's like, oh, are you going to sing? And I was like, fuck no. And then, of course, sure, they start playing Hawthorne Heights. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, make way.
Yep.
I'm coming up there.
It's those fucking jams where I'm like, I thought about going up and doing Make Damn Sure, but then they did Cute Without the E, I think. And I was like, okay.
I must have left by then.
Yeah, it was super fucking dope. We were all just yelling it the whole time. It was so good.
Nice.
Guys, get emo as fuck. It's good for the body sometimes. Hey, how about we we transition into talking about our EP that is out as this podcast is also out.
Very true.
We are releasing 3
Same
songs
time.
into the world. Sunday Best is the EP name. I think I said it on the podcast once, but figured I'd have the band here, or at least most of it.
We're 2/3.
2/3 is pretty good, you know.
66%.
Just
passing.
just like Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2 out of 3 ain't
Yeah,
bad.
you know, I like to think I'm at least 3% more involved in the band than Quentin is, so
Okay.
that we're 69% of the band.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah.
Not really. I just wanted to make a 69 joke.
Okay.
Anyway,
we did it pretty well.
so we've had these songs for at
Ever?
least a year. I mean, I've had Until It's My Time since 2014, 2015.
Okay.
It's in fact
Was
still
it before you hired me?
Yes.
When you moved to Reno?
Yes, I actually had Car Ballet and Until It's My Time and Love Songs on an album that's still on iTunes, and I have no idea how to fucking take it down.
Nice.
It was when I did my year-long record a song every week project, and then afterwards I put out like a compilation of like, here, these are the songs that I don't think fucking suck, and I put them out into the world, and I took it down everywhere except for iTunes, because iTunes just keeps that shit. So if anybody is really curious as to how these songs started in their proto stages, you can go hear Car Ballet, which is our unreleased track that we'll be putting out later in the year. You can hear the very beginning version of Until It's My Time before I could even reach the notes that I have in the song.
Right.
It's just me going,
It's like the demo versions.
it's so fucking bad, but it's really fun to listen back to how that song started. And same with Love Songs. Love Songs was it was a little slower. The bridge was different because I didn't have the exact, good words for it. And it's just all around, like, you can get the idea of the song now that you hear the one that exists.
Right.
But that old one is just not good. But yeah.
But people can actually find the older versions if they try really hard.
If they just look on iTunes under Sad Giants, there's the album A Year As Sad
Okay.
Giants, and
All
it's
right.
just, there's a couple gems still hidden on there
Nice.
that I don't want to bring back, because I was like, that's a bygone time. But I think the ones we've taken from that era have really, really come around.
Yeah.
Especially Until It's My Time, which I wrote when I was I had just gotten, not fired, but not hired at the place that I was spending a lot of time at in college, working as a substitute teacher and at Best Buy and
Best
at the
Buy.
High V Chinese food counter in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So I was working 3 jobs and just coming home, shitting out a song, and then just calling it a week. And I was getting so tired, but I had to keep that maintenance, because I was going to a therapist at the time, and I was like, I kind of miss, I like reminiscing about those old times when I was in high school, and I would just record some shitty tracks, and then I would have kind of like a audio diary of how I felt in the song.
Right.
And she was like, why don't you just do that again? And I was like, you're right, I fucking could. I was like, it's as easy as doing it. And so that's essentially what that whole year was me taking every week and going, how do I feel right now? And why, and then I would write a blog about it, and I hope that blog is fucking taken down. It's so embarrassing.
There's another Easter egg for someone if they really want
if
to
anyone
search.
wants to find the old Sad Giants Tumblr, you can go back and listen to the...
It might have accidentally got deleted because
I fucking hope
they
so.
deleted all the porn off Tumblr.
Because, I mean, like, I'm not the best blog writer. Like, I'm a good writer in general, but I'm not a good blog writer, and I wasn't planning those things out. It literally was a fucking diary.
Gotcha.
At that point.
So just like random thoughts and half thought out like lyrics and stuff.
It was just like, here's 2 verses and a chorus. Here's 3 paragraphs of how I feel this week and
Gotcha.
why. And so that was out in the world, and it's fucking embarrassing. So I'm glad most of that's gone or buried. But Until It's My Time was a track that I wrote in the throes of that time, just thinking, like, if I could just get by in this dream of being an entertainer, in this dream of being on the road and making it work with, a life that isn't, suffering. That's
Right.
That's something more. It's creating and providing at the same time. And there's a couple, little embellishments of things that are bad or my state at the time, but it's all pretty self-contained in that time. That pretty realistic. But yeah, it's a tough time. Being 23 fucking sucked.
Nobody likes you then.
So I've heard. I don't know why I didn't take that advice. You know? That Jimmy Eat World song.
Yeah, it is a tough time. I don't know, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's see. What can I say about the actual recording of the track? We started recording this last year, I think. We started in September or October of last year in 2018. We were just going in, little weekend Johns to try to get everything done. We got your drum shit done in like a weekend. This was at the Collins new place, or Collins old new place.
The
most
place that's
recent
gone
place by the highway place. Yeah,
okay, that's right.
At the Cat Ranch.
The Cat Ranch.
So
okay,
this was there.
That, yeah. Copious amounts of Jimmy John's and Dutch Brothers coffee.
Dutch Brothers coffee. Every time I went in, I had a fuckload of coffee.
Atlantis Deli, Manhattan Deli cheesecake.
Yeah, and breakfast sandwiches.
Very delicious.
Because I like building a studio vibe. The one thing I love in the studio is being there, not necessarily the recording part.
Actually doing the thing.
So
just hanging out.
That's why this process did take fucking 6 months, because you and Quentin were done in like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, our parts went by really quickly, except for the part where we tried to record another song that didn't end up making it because it was just kind of not thrown together, but it was just kind of.
It was in pieces, It's pieces of song we were trying, because we just wanted a new song,
right?
And 2018 was a little bit of a dry spell for us for writing,
kind of, yeah.
And so that was our only song that we had gotten to the point where we had played it live, and it kind of just fell apart in the studio because we didn't even really know the parts
right
when we started, and we mathematically knew where they were. When we got them into a place where we could hear them, we went, this doesn't really gel at all. Didn't also help that I was getting high as fuck.
Probably
because I knew that I was not going to have to do anything super important yet. But then that just made me get real self-conscious, and we were just like, fucking, we'll just scrap the fucking song. Which was honestly easier than trying to rewrite the song in the studio.
Well, and the time crunch we were on.
Yeah.
We really didn't have a lot of time.
No, especially now that we know the studio's just fucking closed. I feel like we were like basically the last project in there.
Yeah.
But so Until It's My Time was, I think, the first.
And we changed it around. Did we change it before we went in the studio, or when we were in this? I think we changed it before we went, like the intro and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and the verses, right?
Yeah, because initially it was just. Let's see. I think we made you do a different drum fill. And then
I don't remember how it started originally.
Yeah, me neither. I think it just started. You just counted it off, and we all just started together.
I think so too.
And then I had completely different words for the first verse. Well, not completely different. They were the same vibe, but it was so many words. I think the original words were. Just go find it on Apple Music. You can hear the original somewhere. But it was something along the lines of, I'm drunk, smoking borrowed cigarettes in a makeshift frat house driveway. I dreamed of tour bus stints and long hauls on the highway. And now I change it to, I'm bumming cheap cigarettes, drunk, out in a driveway. Just shortened it up, tightened it up, gave the idea a little more imagery. So it could have a little more melody than me basically rapping the fucking song.
Right. Just gave him a little room to breathe.
Yeah, and so now I think what we have in this song is a lot better. And we added a little acoustic guitar in there just to add a little shimmer, because this is a very meaty song.
Yeah.
It's just 4-chord punk, chug some shit out.
Yeah.
And so we added a little brightness with acoustic guitar sometimes. And then at the very end, in order to emphasize all the yelling I was doing, I'll tell you more afterwards. But there's some little background layering that we did just to really make things sound. So here's Until It's My Time, the first track on the EP.
Away on a long-term loan. We're
until it's my time. So, yeah, a couple of the fun things that I like in there. Again, the acoustic guitar kind of coming in halfway through that last verse.
Totally.
And then it really sells the chugging parts before the chorus, because just the guitar by itself is a little too chunky. And so having that little, like, from the acoustic, I think it really makes it sound more melodic.
Yeah. Well, I like that. I really like that lead part. And I think I mentioned this, too, when you sent over the demo and you had that added in. I was like, oh, man, that little lead part, like, halfway through, what is that, like that second verse?
Yeah.
It's just awesome. Just fills it out and just makes it sound a little better.
It really, it gives that brightness. It's not all just one tone the whole way through.
Right.
So I'm really glad we did that. And then my favorite part is at the very end, that last chorus. I had got done fucking just screaming the whole time. So what happened is, like, I hit the first chorus, and then I hit the second chorus, and I'm already yelling there. And Colin was just like, don't blow your voice. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get 2 times more intense after this for the other 2 choruses. He's like, all right. And then you can hear me in the third chorus just screaming. And then that last one, I am just fully blowing out my voice. I was like,
you can almost hear it kind of crack.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, that's me at a 10. That's where it finally was. And he was like, shit, okay. But then afterwards, I was like, I need something discordant, but also steady to kind of layer over all of it. And so what I did is I did throat singing over the end of that last chorus.
You really did.
And that is hidden in there with kind of like a filter over it.
Nice.
So it really kind of just opens up the whole thing, and it sounds so crazy if you don't know it. If you don't know what's in there, it sounds fine. And then when you hear it now, you're like, God damn it. And every time I hear it come in, I'm like, it's just in there. It's in there and no one's going to know.
That's awesome.
Except now they do.
I wish we could get like this, like the isolated tracks for that.
Right.
To be able to just hear things right. So
yeah. It was funny because after I did that, he was like, all right, because, you got to listen back and he's going to edit it and you keep hearing it. So I just kept hearing it over and over again going, this is going to sound fucking stupid. And then when he finally put it in, I was like, oh my God, my idea did work.
Nice.
I'm not a complete idiot.
That's funny.
It totally worked out.
So you tapped into your inner Scott Tapp? Scott, what's that guy's name?
Which one? Scott Stapp?
Scott Stapp.
I don't know.
That's
Does
what
he do that?
I don't know. Is that the guy from Creed?
Yeah.
Or the guy from Nickelback, maybe?
I don't know.
Throat singing. Creed for sure.
Either way, I just fucking no. I did like traditional Asian throat singing.
Oh, I thought you meant like shitty throat singing.
Nah, like real ass fucking like Mongolians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone else is ever going to do that.
Gotcha.
So now
that's
it's
sweet.
in there.
Okay, that's pretty sweet because I thought you were talking about throat singing like Nickelback. Nah, but it's actually legitimate.
Yeah.
So. That's good.
Like a didgeridoo.
Like an actual instrument.
So if anyone hears the sound of a didgeridoo in the background of that song, that's just my vocal cords.
Nice. Well, there it is.
So that's a fun secret for everybody. The next track on the EP is Cheap Carpet. Now, I remember it was near the tail end of 2017, maybe even going into 2018 when we had the practice space. And we were only playing, the 4 songs we had because we couldn't ever play Not Goodbye because we just can't. It's too studio process. Right. So we had 4 songs, and you guys were like, "You have to have something else. Literally play us anything." And I just had these words. That's all I had was these words because I'd literally. I was late to work. I was fucking unshowered and just tossed my fucking clothes on. Mm-hmm. And I sat down at work and there wasn't shit for me to do anyway. And so I sat down there and I was like, I'm a mess of mismatched business casual attire. My eyes are bloodshot through my shaggy unmanaged hair. And the whole idea just unraveled from there. Like, I'm a fucking mess. Everything sucks. And so, and then... That was back when I was living in my shitty apartment.
Mm-hmm. Down off of
Grove. Yeah, Linden.
Grove area.
Yeah, so it was in that Grove area across from Peppermill on Linden Street. And I was, I had just bought, what we now use as a drum rug, but it was just some cheap fucking Lowe's carpet. That was it's $15 for a roll, and I was like, I need something on this floor. It was cold as fuck in the winter, so I bought some, new cheap carpet for my cheap apartment, and it was fucking
nice. I really like that line.
That's what really stuck with me.
Yeah,
and I was like, there it is. And so that was the entire exodus of the track. I was having a shitty day at work. Everything sucked. but at least I had the outlet of the band to put it into a proper perspective. And so I came to you guys, and I had like, you know, the 3 chords of it. Mm-hmm. And Quentin's bass line was much simpler before we got in the studio until Colin just fucking beat him down and was like, put more notes in here. You are going to make it better. And they had a little fight in the middle of the studio. Because, I mean, it's really hard to be like, learn this bass line that we're making right now and play it on the track. And Quentin's like, I fucking can't. Like, give me a goddamn second. And then he fucking pulled it off, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So Cheap Carpet has that.
I remember when we first started playing that, I was playing around with like the sample pad and trying to play like with different sounds and stuff, and that was cool. Like, I don't know, in the beginning it was pretty cool, and then we tried to play it live, and the thing it was just hard to like carry around and set up and
to
make
get
sure
the levels right.
were good with everything else, because we don't have like a legitimate sound guy at all the places we play.
Yeah.
And then just like setting it up every time, and it was just kind of a pain. So then it was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to hit the rim of the snare, and that sounds good enough, and it's just going to be fine.
Yeah, and so like I think I was trying to make you do like a dance beat, so what would be the hi-hat, but was the octopad back in the day, was on the off beat. And so it was like a cowbell or like a woodblock sound,
right,
with the right hand on the off beats, and every once in a while there would be a little bell that you would also have to ding in there,
a little bell or a chime.
Yeah,
there was like 2 different bells and chimes,
and so it just got to be so much. We got in the studio, and the dance beat just sounded off. You know, like it just didn't sound good, especially just on the rims. So what we ended up doing was taking a keyboard stand and setting it next to your low tom.
Right.
And so what you hear on the track is a microphone next to a keyboard stand that Jesse is just hitting with a stick.
Literally just a piece of metal, but it sounds good. And I just played straight instead of playing on the upbeat of the beat, I guess. Mm-hmm. And it sounds good.
And I couldn't have asked for anything better. So let's listen to the fucking track. There it is.
I'm a mess of mismatched business casual attire. And my eyes are bloodshot from
synth fade out
I
there.
love that.
Yeah, because that was one of those things where me and Colin were sitting in the studio, and I was like, technically the song is done. That's all the parts, but I was like, this needs something more. We were sitting there like, what the fuck does it need? You know, like, and I was like, okay, bear with me. Here's 3 things, and I think I pulled up Cheap Trick, and All the Small Things. Let's see. I think it was Cheap Trick's Surrender, and then I pulled up Blink's All the Small Things, and I was like, it's these little synth parts that you don't realize are there until you hear them, and then you go, oh shit, that's making everything right now. It's really opening up the choruses. And so I was like, I just need like a simple, like arpeggiated something, like a couple notes, just a ping pong back and forth, and give the song a little more whimsy, you know, like, because it has a very not Motown feel to it, but after I added that guitar part, I was like, it just needs... Oh yeah, so let's talk about that guitar part. So at the beginning, I added like a little, you know, like just a little picking, just a little bit of like a that little thing, because you know,
There wasn't any guitar.
there wasn't any guitar during the verses before.
Right.
I just took it all out. It didn't until the, you know, take me out to bury me in. There was nothing else on guitar. But I was like, it just needs a little something, you know, like how the Jackson 5 would just toss some little, you know, like chicka-chickas on guitar, like something, some little things or some little stabs. And I was like, it needs just that little melodic sense that, like, if we didn't do it live, no one's going to miss it. But on the track, it really helps add a little bit of that space, a little bit of that brightness. And so it's having the brightness of the guitar in there, and then the whimsy of the kind of, you know, the push into the synth part that really... sold that for me. And so once we got all those parts in, I was like, there we go, the song's done.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, because we had Quentin doing his bass solo in there, which is nice, and then I added a guitar solo in there because fucking why not?
Yeah.
And so really that whole song finally came together so nice from being just like me pissed off at work. Yeah. And actually,
Well, hey, if you write a song every time you get pissed off at work,
it's been happening a lot lately.
we'll have a pretty good album.
Really, it's just whenever I've been feeling intense emotions about things, which has been happening frequently lately, because I mean things have been going too well. So I gotta vent about it somewhere, and why not through song?
Yeah.
And so Cheap Carpet was one half of how I was feeling at a certain point, and the titular track from this EP, Sunday Best, which we just called Fuck Off for the longest time. But then I think we came to the consensus that we probably shouldn't just have "fuck off" in our track listing, and it's kind of a lackluster title anyway. But Sunday Best came from the bridge that I was fucking slaving over for a month because I didn't know what to put in there after we had recreated it from the ground up. Basically, it used to just kind of be a gradual build, and then we turned it into this kind of fun mechanical bit. And I had no idea what to put over there. At the time, I had bombed my dick off at comedy in Yerington, and I gotten tequila drunk and just started yelling at rednecks, and I wanted to splice that up and toss it in there.
Oh, okay.
Because that would honestly have fit with the vibe of the song. People, fans of the podcast, would recognize me yelling, what is it, "You Texas Chainsaw Massacre." Oh, no. What is it? I bet you eat hot oatmeal, you Gorgon Texas Chainsaw Massacre bastards. I was going to put that there before we get into the chorus, and I was like, it goes too hard. It's like it's too on the nose.
Intense,
it's fucking rough,
Yeah.
and so I decided not to do that, and instead, I just kind of went with the feeling at the time of you know, having this vision in my head where I am my best self somewhere in the future. You know, all these little vignettes in my mind of me in a better future. I'm just, you know, I'm fucking killing it. But also it's all the platitudes and shitty attitudes that always seem to fuck up my future plans. And luckily, getting a lot less of those and more my brain shitting on itself. And so it's... You know, that part's in there. And then I had this line from when I think I was in college, just walking in between classes. And I just written down the line, "You'll mind the bumps and bruises as you pass over the scars. Eventually you'll find out who you are." And I just had that as a note in my phone for fucking 4 years. I've never been able to do anything for it. 'Cause it's, you know, it seems too on the nose to be like a whole chorus to something. But it's so poignant in its own construction that I was just like, I got to put it somewhere because I really like the line of being, you know, like, even if you don't know who you are, you're going to take a lot of fucking scrapes along the way, and eventually all the bullshit will lead to who you are now.
Gotcha.
And you know, with the rest of the idea of the song of not liking who you are, it really kind of ties it all together in a less bitter note to just be like, hey, you know, this is all leading to somewhere. It'll be fine.
Right.
And so, yeah, if Cheap Carpet was just about how shitty my life felt at that point that I was in, Fuck Off was the why to the how. So I mean, Sunday Best was. I'm gonna call it Fuck Off. That's just how we've known it for so long. But yeah, Fuck Off was the how to the you know, the whole thing. And let's see, how does Fuck Off start? Oh, Nat, we start with you again.
Yeah.
Where it used to be, it started with me doing the guitar part, but it just doesn't feel as right. If I'm just starting it off,
yeah, it was just a cool little drum fill.
Yeah.
Right into the beginning of the song.
And I never wrote leads to this song before we got in the studio because I was like, it doesn't need it. You know, the cool part is, you know, the thing we're doing. And then I was like, when we got it recorded, I was like, I feel like I'm ripping off Motion City a little too much with how I constructed this song.
That's how I felt in the intro.
Yeah, but it's
that
just,
little drum fill.
I was listening to so much Motion City at the time, though. Like, because Commit This to Memory is one of my all-time comfort albums. Like, I'll just put the whole thing on front to back.
Totally.
If I just want to feel right with myself. And I was just getting into the one after that. What the fuck was the one after that with the...
everything, even if it kills me.
Even if it kills me, yeah. So I was getting into that one. So I was in that mood when I wrote this song musically, and so you know, it leans heavily on that a lot.
I think so, yeah. Well, for me too, like with the drum parts, and the drummer Tony Thaxton has always been like a huge influence, probably like one of my biggest ones.
Right.
And so I think when we wrote that little like breakdown bridge type thing, I was just like, what the fuck am I going to play here?
Yeah.
And I just like, I don't remember what song it was, but it was, I kind of like looked to that for like real heavy inspiration.
Yeah, because I think, I mean, especially on Commit This to Memory, he does a lot of that, you know, like traveling around and
Totally.
like little mechanical bits in like, I think maybe Let's Get Fucked Up and Die, or some of the things around that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so, you know, this song, it's not a ripoff. I'd say, if anything, it's an homage.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is almost exactly how fucking Justin Courtney Pierre writes. Is that sort of self-loathing but very melodic style.
Right.
And
yeah,
so
definitely.
And so like this song has too much vibes to not just say like, hey, look, this is exactly what we feel like in this song. But then I was also listening to a lot of Dirty Nil at the time. So the lead part that I added in there is a very like soaring octave kind of fun thing. And so we'll talk more about it after you guys fucking listen to it.
I did the dishes today and hate who I am. I hope it's not too forward. I'm praying every word that I say won't kill the mood or dismantle a fragile foundation. It's been a long few weeks. Sorry, my apartment reeks. I've been neglecting my upkeep and I just can't sleep. I hope my snoring doesn't keep you up. I hate being in my skin, so give me that bottle of gin. I don't know who I am, but I know where I've been, so fuck off. Being alone is my biggest fear, but I don't feel at home here. No, come back, I'm on crack, I need somebody, please. I'm crazy. Just my Sunday best in these little vignettes inside my mind. It's the platitudes and shitty attitudes that I always seem to find. But I mind the bumps and bruises as I pass over the scars. Eventually you'll find out who you are. I hate being in my skin, so give me that bottle of gin. I don't know who I am, but I know where I've been, so fuck off. Being alone is my biggest fear, but I don't feel at home here. No, come back, I'm on crack, I need somebody, please. I'm crazy.
And that's how we cap off the EP.
Yeah.
3 songs. Yeah.
And drumsticks clicking.
You have drumsticks clicking. me going yeah from the other side, because that was the end of your drum take, and I was fucking digging it.
Nice.
So we just kept that in there.
Nice.
So yeah, that was Sunday Best off of the the EP named after that song.
Sunday Best.
Yeah, Sunday Best. And so there's so many parts in that song that I love and hate though.
Really?
Because I mean, lyrically, I forced a lot of rhymes. They all still make sense in the context of, I guess, the world I'm building within it.
Okay.
But I forced a lot of it just so I could express myself in one line. Like get the full amount of expression in one line, and then kind of not half-ass the second one, but finish the thought in a rhyme really quick. So it's not my favorite thing I've done lyrically, but the song is about the melody and the jauntiness of how sad it is. So really, like, within itself, that kind of not fakeness, but just disrespect to the listener, which also is evident in the chorus of being like, like, I'm sad, but also fuck you. Like, it's a little bit of both. That's kind of the duality of everything I am. Like, all I want is human interaction and people to be nice to me, and also fuck you a little bit and go away. Like, it's just all contained in that chorus and in some of those verses. So it's nice.
You're quite the onion, buddy.
Yeah, I got a lot of layers, and I make a lot of things cry.
That's good. That's good, though.
Mostly dudes at bars.
That's okay. That's all right.
When we got done with our show, a chick came up and said, a lovely lady came up to us and said that I reminded her of Matchbox 20. And I was like,
has she listened to music in the last 10 years?
I don't know, but I was
years?
like, I accept that, because I think the weird thing that we harness is like an intense feeling of nostalgia for people. Like, we seem familiar to everybody.
That's so funny, because everyone that I've given the Spotify link out to or whatever, or it has asked, like, oh, what does your band sound like? And I go, I don't fucking know. Listen to it on Spotify. And they're like, oh, that reminds me of what I listened to in middle school, or that reminds me of 10 years ago or 15 years ago. That's so funny.
It always reminds them of some good time in their life, which is great. I love that. But it's also it's hard to explain to people what we sound like when I'm like, hey, those good memories you have that are now shaded by your jaded future? That is what we are. That is our entirety.
Yeah,
that's what we sound like. So
maybe maybe Matchbox 20 does that for her.
And so it's probably just that feeling of like a nice voice with not busy instrumentation, but constantly moving and very emotional lyrics. Like, it just did that for her, which makes sense. Everyone loved Rob Thomas at one point.
Dude, that was my first concert I ever went to when I was a young little kid.
Matchbox 20 was fucking dope.
I dig them. I still like that. There's I got some 90s playlists on my Spotify, and they couple jams on there.
I'm weird with playlists. Like, I go by era of either my life or what year it is. Like, when I'm doing current things, I go by year, and then I have 3 different playlists right now of 12-year-old me, 16-year-old me, and 21-year-old me.
Gotcha.
And I think probably by next year I'll have this is 25-year-old me playlist. When I reach my late 20s, when I start aging into that.
When you start aging, shut the hell up. God damn it. No, but I really like that song. I think that one for me is that's the one for me. Just the way it all came together. I love the lead guitar parts. I love your vocal harmonies. It's what I don't know. It's what I listen to normally.
Yeah.
So if that makes any sense.
I think I might need to submit that one to some playlists, see if we can
so.
get that one tossed up. Because, I mean, those harmonies, I spent literally a whole day on just the chorus harmonies because it is a 3-part harmony that we were trying to make not sound like a fucking island song. You know, like we were trying to make it not sound reggae, but that's really hard with major chord 3-part harmonies. And so, you know, there's the regular, you know, like, I hate being... let's see, the lower one is, I hate being in my skin, so give me that bottle of gin. And then the other higher one is, I can't even remember it anymore. Like, it's just so crazy. And so, like, I don't think I could replicate it again right now. It would take a lot of listens through because it was just so... It was so in the moment because I knew I wanted a 3rd-part harmony and I had practiced one, but it just didn't sound right to just layer a 3rd over the regular chorus. It sounded so thin. And so we added the lower harmony, and then I had to redo the upper harmony to fit with what we had just made. And so if you like the choruses, they were lovingly crafted for that very purpose. And I do really like the synth part because, you know, because we knew we were straight up going for the Motion City vibe, I just told Colin, like, bust out the Moog synthesizer and let's just toss a little, you know, something over it. And when we go into the bridge part where your drums start, he even has the synth doing like the... And I was so glad he did that. I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I want here.
It's so funny because, like, I think in one of the original, like, one of the first versions of the mix... we got, like, that stuck out, like, it was, like, really prominent as it was going into one of the choruses, and I was like, oh my god, I hate that. Cut that. Take that out.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, leave it in.
Yeah, I mean, it'll all get buried in the mix of everything eventually, you know, but it's listening to some of those first mixes, it's always like, oh, I did that? Oh, it sounds so gross here.
Yeah.
And then you just gotta really, like, you gotta wait for yourself to love it sometimes. That's the hardest thing is, like, we've had these songs for over a year.
Right.
We recorded them, you know, 6 to 8 months ago. And we've just been waiting for the right time to release them. So, like, I'm glad they're getting out to the world because it's making me like them again.
Totally.
Because I just kept listening to them for so long going, fuck, no one's going to like these goddamn songs. But now, luckily, you know, like, these tracks are dope. And I'm most excited for Car Ballet, which we aren't even releasing yet. Because that one was such like a cathartic songwriting process for me because I've been writing it for fucking 10 years basically. And so I can't wait to release that one eventually. But nobody gets to listen to that yet.
Not until wintertime.
Yeah, not until wintertime. Until it starts getting cold. We get that wintry feeling.
Yeah.
Get that, you know, at least people like, I'm going to say like October or November when people start thinking about like, oh God, my whole year is over. Like, what have I been doing with my life? Hit them with that nostalgia.
Yeah. I think that's a good plan.
Yeah.
You know, like starting to get a little too cold for hoodies.
Yeah.
Start thinking about jackets.
Really just want to bundle up and, you know, feel sadness.
I'll probably stop wearing sandals and shorts by then.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You'd fucking die. Bones would come out.
I don't know, man. There's some, like, old white guys that just wear sandals year round.
That's true, but they're on a different level of some shit.
That's true. I can't get on that level yet. I'm not that old. I do have some grays coming in, but...
I found a gray up here earlier. I think I just been stressing out too much, and one just popped out. But, like, yeah, I was like, oh, shit, it's right there in the front. Cool. I didn't pluck it out because I'm like, you know, I'd be fine with going gray.
Yeah.
It'd be so dope. Just
Have you seen photos of those people that have, like, the stripe?
Just
or
a
like
shock of gray in
the
there.
section of, like, I forget what it was. I spent like a couple hours at work one day just looking it up and looking at photos of it. Very productive employee. But, yeah, it looks so awesome.
I would love that shit. But I know that's not how I'm going to go gray. Because, I mean, I'm basically exactly like my dad. So it's going to be like temples first, and then it's just going to slowly go back.
That's how everybody does it, I think.
Yeah, but every once in a while. I had a teacher in high school who just had half of a gray beard.
Dude.
He was only like in his late 30s, but he just had a fucking half a gray beard, and he was just like this. And I was like, that's so fucking dope, though.
That's pretty crazy.
It looks like he was a wizard that like did a spell wrong, and it just like aged half of his face. It was fucking dope.
Just trying to come up with a Harry Potter line there, but I didn't have one.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
You're a wizard, Bobby's teacher.
You're a fucking wizard. So that's the EP,
That's
everybody.
it, man.
You go listen to it on Spotify or buy it on iTunes. Now, it's out. It's out there in the world. Listen to it without us talking about shit. But now you know the intimate details of the process of these 3 songs. Can you imagine if we had like a 10-song album right now to fuck with?
Jesus.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing... That's funny because, like, in my younger band days, like, we did whole albums, and I did like all the drum tracks, sometimes
Yeah.
on like one take. And that's not like me tooting my horn because I was good. That was just us like just going through it, and just we didn't know any better, and we're just like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, that sounds good. It's like, yeah, okay, on to the next one.
That's just how exciting it was. Like, oh, we're in the studio, we get to record, and then you just hammer through it, and you're like, those are our songs. And the engineer's just sitting there like, yep, those are legally songs. You know, like there's no
Yep.
thought to the quality of like, you don't A-B it with some radio shit going like, how can we mix this correctly? You just go and you're like, that's what we sound like, and that's how we want it to sound.
That's
the end.
how I play it.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna play it.
So, yeah, I don't miss that. I don't miss that. I'm so glad that I've got, you know, standards for myself
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, same here.
But that's also tough because it's expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
It's super fucking expensive, and like I
Yeah.
miss the days where I could just set up my own little desk and be fine tossing something on the internet like that. Mm-hmm. But not anymore. I want it to sound fucking good. So now we gotta spend a few thousand to sound all right.
Well, and it's hard for drums too because you can't just like plug it into a machine.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but it's not going to sound
Not
right.
gonna sound right. You gotta have a good room. You gotta have an engineer who knows how to set the mics right.
Yeah.
And then you gotta get it mixed right, which is tough. Mm-hmm. Bad times.
What are you going to do, man?
And nothing. That's what. I don't really feel like fucking playing Mad Libs at all. But
What do you want to talk about? Some other music that's not ours?
yeah, let's talk
could
about
do that.
like what are you digging on right now? What's cool with you?
Let me open my Spotify.
Yeah,
'cause
open your
I've been-
Spotify.
I found this album. It's one of the things that I really like about Spotify is they'll throw in, you know, your
The suggested or
they'll
like
throw
the
in
release
suggested
radar.
or stuff. Yeah, so I discovered this album called "I Went Swimming Alone" by a band called Warm Thoughts, and yeah, just fucking total bangers, and I just dig it. And it came out last year, but it's been in my heavy rotation for a long time now. I don't know what else. Been really digging on Arms Aloft, which is like a Midwestern kind of like working class punk band, pop punk band. Pretty good. Been digging on
I'm
them.
gonna have to check that out.
Check them out. They're from Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. I used to know guys from over there.
Eau Claire up in that area. A lot of a lot of their stuff is about like lumber yards and sawdust
Cheese
and stuff like that.
and beer.
Yeah, a lot of beer.
Wisconsin.
I discovered a band called Stars recently.
Stars.
And they've apparently been out forever, and it's like a kind of like a indie kind of dance rock, which I'm
Interesting.
really into. But I had just discovered them. I was like, oh yeah, this is a cool new band. And then I found out that they have been out forever, and they have like multiple albums out. I'm like, what the fuck? How did I just figure this out?
Right. That's how I felt about Off With Their Heads. I was like, I fucking missed this train.
Yeah. Who else? I have a playlist called Guilty as Pleasures, and I have like Tessa Violet, and I have like LaRue and Kesha and some other stuff on there. So I just do a lot of that rotation. And then, yeah, I don't know, man.
Dope. I've been getting into
A lot of Menzingers too, always.
Menzingers is always up there. Like, I don't think I'm ever not in the mood for a few of their songs.
Totally.
Like, no matter what mood I'm in, I don't want to be an asshole anymore. Always kind of takes me back into a good place. That song, I think that album came out 2014, and so I was fresh out of college, thinking like, oh well, now I just have to deal with my own fucking life. Cool. And like shit was not good, and that's when I found Menzingers and Modern Baseball. And so like both of those really got me through some times.
Nice.
So yeah. Speaking of guilty pleasures, I was turned on to a New York kind of world pop duo called Sophie Tucker. They're very strange.
Sophie Tucker.
Yeah, it's called
okay.
SOFITUKKER.
Oh, it's almost like SoFi.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so it's they have a song called Drinky and a song called Fuck They.
Okay.
And both of those are, they're fucking bangers. Like, it's very Europop, but they're from
Okay.
the U.S., you know?
Interesting.
But their music videos are all very abstract and fantastical, or just, like, strange and cinematic.
Gotcha.
I would say they're like an American D-Antwoord. Like, they're just fucking weirdos.
Huh. Check
But,
it out.
not exactly in that same way, but they're pretty fucking dope. Check them out. And then what else? I think I talked about Angels and Airwaves.
If you say pup again, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I won't say Pup again.
God
but
damn it, dude.
Fucking album of the year, man.
I can't get behind it, dude.
Come on.
I don't like the dude's vocal melodies. It's just I don't like that style of singing, I guess.
It's just I mean I didn't like their first album, not first album, but the one with If This Tour Doesn't Kill You I Will. Like they just didn't hit me right back then. But this one's just hitting me right in the balls.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else have I been fucking digging on? Lil Dicky's track Earth is dope as fuck.
Okay.
I'm never not in the mood for that right now. Mostly just because the artists that he got to be on it are so fucking crazy that he's just like this clown rapper who got not only Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber to just be the intro and kind of main like sidekicks to the rest of the song.
How much do you think he had to pay for that? Because I
mean, I think that's going to be like a shared royalties situation.
Yeah.
I don't know if he actually had to pay any of those artists, because I was listening to a thing where he just like, you know, he called all of his friends first, and he would call people after that and be like, we got these people, do you want to be on this track? And they'd be like, yeah. And then at one point he went to like this big arena place where a bunch of people were playing, and so they would all just come in and be like, yeah, I'll be on the track, and they just kept fucking adding people.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Because I was wondering about that, where like you like have like really big name acts on like a lower, or not lower, but like lesser known act track, and it's like, okay, like did you pay, or did the label pay for you to come in? So that's interesting. Okay,
yeah,
well,
so
Dickie,
that song's fucking dope.
What else? What else you got?
I don't know. I haven't been consuming as much new media recently. I just been kind of trying to maintain.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, again, sorry, but Pup has just been keeping me in that space. You know, I just been sitting around thinking all this morbid stuff.
God,
just like them. Yes, it doesn't matter anyway. I care about nothing but you.
Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah, it sounds just like them.
Yeah, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm gonna end up sounding like that eventually.
Yeah.
I really do feel like one of these days I'm gonna like end up having something terrible happen to my voice. Like it's gonna be like vocal nodules, and I'll never be able to sing high again, or
what are we gonna do then?
Fucking change the way I sing, just like John Prine had to do, just like Tom DeLonge had to do. You just fucking roll with the punches. Oh, just like fucking Polar Bear Club had to do. That was the hardest hit.
But they didn't do it. They changed it, and then that was it. They just stopped.
I mean that's just because they didn't want
last
album was so not well received.
I loved that last album.
Me too, and it was produced by Will Yip, the same guy that produced the Benzinger's last record. Will Yip is so fucking dope.
Yeah.
But it's just like they fell apart from the constant touring, you know, and the pressure.
I don't know, maybe that wasn't like what they really wanted to do anyways, that style or something.
I mean, the new bands that they all have now are much different than that.
That's probably it.
Which makes sense, because I mean that was a very specific sound. You know, that, you know, not easy core, but still that, you know, like almost metal, but like slow and melodic hardcore sound with, you know, melodic punk vocals. Really died out quick, which made me sad.
Yeah.
But they were good. Like that song Pawner really hit hard. Poor Polar Bear Club. But if that ever happens to me,
I throw those on, those last two.
Yeah,
I throw those on quite a bit.
Oh, what was that one? Last year I was digging on a Polar Bear Club song. Like it just, every part of it hits so hard. Like even now, like sometimes I just want to fucking cry when I listen to it. Convinced I'm Wrong.
Yeah.
Convinced I'm Wrong is probably like the most emotional song for me, because every part of it just hits so hard. So listen to that song if you guys want to, like, I don't know, cry about some shit.
It's Polar Bear Club.
Polar Bear Club's fucking dope.
Yeah.
I need to catch up on Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of hate on it on the internet lately.
Whatever.
But, you know, it's going to happen, right? I really liked episode 3 of this season.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah, it was.
Episode 4, this last one, not that great. Kind of a filler episode.
Haven't seen it yet.
2 characters had sex that I really didn't care about seeing them have sex, so.
Dope.
There's also a beheading, so, you know.
Yeah,
pretty standard Game of Thrones.
I'm definitely going to have to get into that shit.
Some dragons, you know, some dragon action.
They fucking better have the dragons.
Some draction. I tried to combine 2 words there.
You did.
It didn't work out well.
And sometimes it just doesn't.
Yeah. Are you doing a lot of social media?
Trying.
Yeah. I took a break.
It's good. That's a good thing to do.
I just like unplugged from both, and I haven't really plugged back in.
Yeah.
I think has been good, and I don't really have a desire to get back on Instagram, because I'm like, I don't know, there's like some funny accounts that I follow, but like a lot of the other shit is just like, it's just fucking like all of these like quote unquote influencers and like quote unquote ambassadors, and I'm so over it. Like, I don't care that this company is like paying you to produce this post that looks literally like all of the other fucking millions of other, you know, influencers or whatever. So when I do get back on, I definitely want to like thin that crowd out of those people that I follow artists and, you know, like people that actually create and people that do stuff rather than people that just, I don't know,
try to
make the same fucking the same post.
Try to sell you like fucking designer coffee mugs.
But the thing that's shitty is that they do it in a way that like
it seems natural, like you're helping them,
like you're trying to pawn it off. You're trying to like lie to me or hide it from me. It's like, shut the fuck up. God,
I don't follow a lot of that. I follow people I know, and then a lot of strangely enough, a lot of like comic like Instagram people that just make like comics, like fun little comics for themselves. You know, graphic artists and things, just because I like it. It's fun. It's a good time.
Gotta follow more people that create. Is that Austin?
Yeah.
Hey, Austin.
We're almost done here. We're just doing the whole what's cool in the world. Really, there's not much. Listen to Sad Giants. That's about it.
That's about it. Eat In and Out, I guess.
Eat In and Out. Listen to Sad Giants and try not to be so sad.
Yeah.
Or if you're feeling sad, you know, reach out to those you love because you matter. Listen to Hold On now on YouTube. Legit though, you know, be chill as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't want to play Mad Libs, then
I mean, do you want to?
I don't know, it's up to you. You know, I'm just gonna look around the room and
we're not gonna play Mad Libs. Right, we'll do it next time.
All right,
we can make Quentin talk about shitting in a box again.
There's always next time.
All right, bye, Jesse.
Okay, bye.